Hey, Janie, how you doing? You the first one here. I know I'm early. People ain't expecting me this early, but it is a Saturday, so hey, I feel so crappy. I got heartburn, and my allergies are acting up. It's crazy. But I just took something for the heartburn. I haven't took none for the allergy yet because it may make me sleepy. Hey, Lisa. So I'm not trying to go to sleep right yet. Yeah, we got some. Hey, Tammy. How everybody doing this Saturday? Lisa, hopefully you all moved in and doing good. I got heartburn really bad and allergies right now, Janie. I did take some Tums for the heartburn. I mean that acid reflux ain't no joke. Oh, I ain't had that in years. Ooh, man. 11 people. Only one, two, three showing. So hope everybody hitting the like button as they come in. Mm, we got some crazy news, boy. Uh, I didn't know this until a few minutes ago. Thank you, Janine. Thank you so much. Oh, I'm hot. I'm just, ooh. What's up, live on the air? Huh? These sodas and drinks giving us heartburn? You could be right. Oh, okay, Lisa. Okay. Oh God, that's the worst feeling. I just to have acid reflux, heartburn, whatever you want to call it. Oh, then my throat is itching, my ears is itching, my eyes are itching. It's crazy, but it's that time of year, so bear with me today. Please bear with me today. But yeah, we got some crazy news to talk about, y'all. And I did not know this until a few minutes ago. It is, Lisa. It's very brutal. Oh, dang. Got me sweating. I don't know what the heck to do. Yeah, I don't know. Just jump in the shower and just run cool water all over me and just stand there or what? Woo. If you hear that noise, that's me scratching my throat. I'm gonna try not to do it on here. Tink. Oh my God. Hold on, y'all. You want to go outside? You want to go outside? Go ahead. Go ahead. Bye. Now stay out there. Stay out there for a little while. Whew. Okay. All right. Here we go. Whew. Hmm. Hope everybody had a nice Saturday or having a nice Saturday because it ain't over yet. Okay. Let me pull this up here. For some who? I just took some Tums. Hopefully it worked. I suffer from acid reflux and allergies. Oh wow, Janine. So you know what I'm going through right now. Sheesh. Um. Yeah. This first story: Diddy's sexual assault, assault fears in prison. Okay, this is TMZ. Two angry men. Uh. And I find that really not funny, but funny. Uh, you worried about getting essayed in prison, but when you was out, you was doing all kind of weird stuff, you know, even though you was acquitted for all that. But so let's hear. Call the doctor and get some penetr. Okay, Lisa. Okay. For in the meantime, in between time, I do have some Benadryl. But I can't take it right now because I'll be on here snoring while y'all sitting here listening. Okay, let's get this story going.
Are you concerned Sean Diddy Combs could be sexually assaulted, violently assaulted? Because based on what was said in court, it feels like a thing.
Yeah, it clearly is a thing.
Welcome to the Two Angry Men podcast. Mark, Diddy is going to spend definitely 2+ years in a federal prison. I just want to lay this out right now. He is a target because they talked about this in
That's
court.
true,
They
Lisa.
said somebody tried to shank him already, and that he is a big target.
Did you?
Are you concerned that
Did y'all know that? That somebody tried to shank him since he been in jail? Come on. You ain't gonna worry my nerves up the way. Move. Did y'all know that? I didn't know that. Hey, Jackie, I did not know somebody tried to shank him. I, wow. Wow. Whoo, boy. Did y'all know that? Because nobody said nothing to me about it. That's news to you too, Janine? I think they kept that quiet. Hush, hush. Oh, you heard it? Lisa said she heard it. You ain't tell me nothing about that, Lisa. You usually hit me up in my DMs when you got some news sometime. Wow. Let's listen to some more.
that Sean Diddy Combs could be sexually assaulted,
Oh,
violently assaulted? Is that a thing? Because based on what was said in court, it feels like a thing.
Yeah, it clearly is a thing. I mean, they're already, and he did not want to make a big deal of it. They already tried to shank him once at the MDC, and that was
yeah.
thwarted. And it happens in prison. I mean, you and I could tick off how many times we are aware of somebody getting seriously injured or killed in prison.
That's true.
And so they're going to have to keep him somewhere that they can keep an eye on him. It would have obviously been better if he had gotten less time and had been at a camp, but he's going to be in a facility where somebody's going to have to from the BOP, and I think they're well equipped to do it if they can.
My thing is here. This is, and I'm not trying to sound mean or nothing like that, but what makes him so much different than any other inmate? Because he's a star. He's high profile. I feel like once you cross that threshold to go to jail, you just like the rest of the doggone inmates. And if they not protecting all them other inmates that has been hurt and unalive in there, then why they got to give him so much special protection? You know what I mean? I'm not trying to sound mean or nothing, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. That type of stuff do happen in jail. You know, if you got enemies, look out. Look out. Be aware. Stay woke as long as you can. You know what I mean? Keep your guards up at all times. So
to keep an eye on him because he is a target.
So what does he do? Do they put him in solitary? Is he with the general population? How is this going to work for 2 years?
you're gonna
If you're considering a bathroom remodel, you've probably discovered that not
Well,
you go if you go to solitary, you better do something. Hey, Polynesian Pride, you better strike the police or somebody. Tupac friends probably in there. Oh, Tupac's friends probably in there. That's a good one live on air. I feel like it's crazy. It's crazy. You did what you did to get in there, so you just gotta handle your business. You gotta handle your business. Don't be scared now. Don't be scared now, cause you ain't got your bodyguards to help you. You know what I mean? Where that big bad puffy that we knew that was out on the street, where he at? I wonder.
the first thing they do is they've got to designate him. That's what it's called.
Right.
They're going to take a look at what the judge said. They're going to see the order on the docket. They're going to take the months. They're going to take the offense characteristics. They're going to take some of the other findings that Judge Sabrahamian made, and they're going to designate him to a location. He's going to be in the MDC for a period of time before he's transferred. When he's transferred, then they're going to take all of that into account, and then he will be switched from the jail system to the prison system.
So,
Right.
what about this? And I know you can't disclose specific conversations because you represent Diddy, but can you give us a sense of the fear factor here on his part? Because they did attempt to shank him already. He
Man.
knows he's a target. Now he knows that he faces upwards of 2 years, with credit and all. But is he freaked out?
Well, I haven't talked to him since the sentence. I know in talking to him for innumerable times that, I would not say he's operating from a place of fear, although he was during the trial, as all defendants are, fearful. Nobody goes into a trial. Anybody who tells you they're not afraid when they're in trial is just lying through their teeth. But I think post-trial,
He's afraid. He's afraid going to prison. He's afraid where he is right now because of the fact he's outnumbered and he don't know how many doggone enemies he got in there. He don't know. He don't know. He need to be scared, but he also need to stay on guard. Simple as that. Is he a fighter? Do Puffy fight men? Have anybody known or heard any stories of him fighting men, beating up men? If that David dude go in prison, they're gonna get him worse. Facts, live on air.
He's acquitted himself well and was preparing himself for this. Obviously, I've got a lot to say about the sentence, but in terms of the fear factor, I think it's going to set in. I think over the next week, you're going to see him make some moves. And when I say make some moves, there's things you can do to try to figure out where and what you should do in terms of housing.
So the judge gave him 50 months and
5-0. 5-0.
So he can whoop on women. He can whoop on women, but he can't whoop on a man. Diddy was doing all his artists wrong. I know. I heard about that. But if you big and bad enough to whoop on a woman, then you big and bad enough to fight back when a man come and approach you. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. I haven't heard about Diddy beating up men. See? But you can whoop on a woman, and that's why the judge came down so hard on him, sounds like to me. Sounds like he's a freak in the sheets. That's all. and a woman whooper. A woman whooper when he feel like it.
And where he served 13, and when you look at the 15% credit, it's going to be 2 years and change that he's going to actually have to serve. I got to ask you something about something that happened in court today. And we talked a lot about this on the live stream. And I couldn't believe my ears that Diddy booked a speech for Monday. When I heard that, I thought, yeah, when the prosecution said hubris, it's like, oh, yeah, the judge is going to let me out. It's no big deal. It was shocking to me that he would do something like that. It just seemed as tone deaf as just about anything I've heard in a long, long time.
Not sure if you saw the news, but Fox News is claiming President Trump is declining in the polls. President Trump responded and says Fox News.
It's interesting. There's been a lot of things, and obviously because I'm involved, I don't want to second guess. I don't want to lay blame. I might do that next week. But a lot of times you find that people in these situations and high-profile people make decisions that aren't the best. And I think amongst them, I know that they tried to clean it up in courtroom afterwards. Who knows the real backstory here? All I know is that I think he is earnest, he being Sean, about wanting to better himself. I think the prosecution's kind of gambit, if you will, by asking for 135 months, basically just, between 11
Hey,
and
Robin.
12 years. That has this effect of having the brain look to the midpoint. If somebody's at 14 and somebody's at 135, your brain automatically goes to the midpoint. And so there is that tendency that if you go so over the top, that you're going to get a sentence that exceeds, in my opinion, where he should have been.
Well,
It's also,
I thought he was going to go higher than he did.
I did too. Let me read some of these comments. Hey, Robin. Lisa say, I personally think he's playing scared to try for a Trump pardon. Oh, okay. Live on Air said, it feel like Diddy and R. Kelly connected. They both was partying it up. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
yeah, I will tell you this. When I set kind of my internal over and under at 39 months going into this, and I thought there's a lot of reasons, RDAP program, First Step program, given the Mann Act comparisons, why 39 months as being the high end of one of the guidelines made a lot of sense, low end or kind of mid-range of one of the others. I thought when His Honor came out and said that he went through the machinations of adopting the probation officers, 70 to 80, whatever, that to me said, oh, this is 39's out the window. He's going over 39 months.
Well,
so I've respectfully lost all the bets with people who took the over 39.
Well, and also what he said was, I am going to consider all the violence in the testimony. And when I heard that, because the defense position was he was acquitted on the charges directly involving violence, so the judge shouldn't consider it. And the judge said from the jump, I am going to consider it. And in the end, he said he was appalled by it, and you could just hear it, and literally said to Cassie, I heard you. And so even though he was acquitted, the judge said, I can still consider that. It may not be beyond a reasonable doubt for jurors, but it's on the table for me.
And what he did was, and the argument was that it's what's called acquitted conduct, meaning there was conduct that he was acquitted of. And the judge said he wasn't going to basically go into that kind of whole line of cases, but he was going to consider it as a factor. And he did consider it, obviously, as a factor. And he said he was going to send a message, basically deterrence effect. I always think of my father whenever a judge says, I want to send a message. My father used to say, shows you how old I am. You want to send a message, use Western Union. But judges do want to send messages in high profile cases. Anybody who says high profile cases, celebrity cases, you get a break. You don't get a break, because if this were somebody else who had rolled the dice, so to speak, who had bet their livelihood and all of his assets on the RICO, all of the life sentence on the sex trafficking, and won, instead of the government getting kind of an obstruction or all kinds of other tax tip and service charge, my opinion, and what normally happens is the judge would say, well, you took your best shot, government, and you took a swing, you lost, and I'm not going to let you indulge in being a sore loser. In this case, I think what he did was he said, I'm finding the guidelines 70 through 80, whatever. So now you could argue and go on appeal if he sentenced within the guidelines that he miscalculated them. But what he did was, and I was telling one of my partners as he did that, I said, you watch, he can be intellectually diabolical. The way to insulate this sentence and this appeal is to come substantially under the guidelines that he's accepted of probation, but hammer him nonetheless. And that's exactly what he did. You come in at 50 to 60, it insulates the appeal.
Yep. And that leads me to what I thought he was going to do as a Hail Mary. So indulge me for a minute. That
Please.
when Diddy said he wanted to speak, which I knew he would do.
Well, you and I talked about it yesterday.
I know.
I said, We talked about it off air
I
yesterday. I said
agree.
to you, he had to speak.
So here's what I thought he was going to say, because at that point he knew he wasn't going to walk out of jail. He knew he was going to get time, and significant time. So here's what I thought he was going to say. Your Honor, and he does his whole apology and remorse and all of that, and he does it all. And then at the end, he says this: Your Honor, respectfully, I would like to say that I now understand what President Trump was saying when he said that the Justice Department was weaponized against him, because I feel similarly. I feel like that's what happened to me, not with the Mann Act, but with all those other charges. And they went into my bedroom the way they tried to go into President Trump's bedroom.
Hey, Michelle.
And it was wrong. And I thought that he would throw that Hail Mary to get a pardon. And Donald Trump, to me, loves flattery more than anything. And if he embraced him in that courtroom, I thought that was his best shot. And it didn't happen. Talk to me about that.
Damn.
Hey guys, did you know some drivers are ditching their car insurance and they're doing this instead?
So is it too late for Donald Trump to pardon him? You can pardon him whenever he wants to, right? It's not too late, right? Just asking. And by he's the president, I think he can pardon people anywhere, anytime he wants to. You say, yep, okay. You saying, yep, it's too late, or yep, he can do it. Trump can pardon whenever he wants to. Why would he do that? He's going. No, He can, but he won't. Okay. All right. Thanks.
So people often, I think you are miscast in some quarters, not all quarters, but I don't think people understand what a brilliant tactician strategist you are. Because if he had done that, I might have kind of massaged the message. I think there are, and you've heard me talk about this, I think there's incredible similarities between Diddy's situation and the president's situation. I think not the least of which is the lead prosecutor, conspicuous by her absence today. Maureen Comey was the one who prosecuted both Diddy and Epstein, and whose father was basically indicted at the kind of dispatch of the president. And there are similarities. They are both in New York. They both had, in my opinion, prosecutors who weaponized the criminal justice system against them. And by the way, as soon as Sean heard the fact that the judge was adopting the sentencing guidelines that we just talked about, as soon as that judge said, I'm going to overrule the objections, overrule the idea of that he's going to adopt any of the defense constitutional or due process objections. If I'm Sean Combs and I'm sitting in that courtroom, I would have just said, you know what? You're right. This guy, his honor is going to hammer me. I'm not walking out of here. I don't know whose harebrained scheme it was to book a speaking engagement or whatever for next week. I don't care what the speaking engagement was, unless it was something that was going to be remote or virtual. That isn't even something you should have been talking about. And I should have been appealing to the other judge of one who could do something for me, is DJT.
So why didn't it happen? Because, look, we had a big argument about this on the live stream today, that there were people who were saying, oh, he'd lose his base. And I'm kind of like, number one, I don't know he'd lose his entire base. And you know what? If you lose your base, you gain another base and you're free. And that seems to be what matters. So was this discussed? I mean, was it rejected? I mean, did somebody think of it?
By Master Spas. Master Spas is the global leader in swim spas, and it's easy to see why. Our swim.
Hey, I need y'all to do me a favor. Put a one. Hey, Caramel, put a 1 in the chat if you knew somebody tried to shank Diddy since he been locked up, and put a 2 in the chat if you didn't know. No, 1 in the chat if you knew somebody tried to shank Diddy since he been locked up. A 2 in the chat if you didn't know, because I didn't know. Let me put my 2 in there right now. Yeah, somebody tried to get him. Somebody tried to shank him since he been locked up. Okay, because a lot of us didn't know.
I can't get into any of that as work product. What I will tell you is, and I'm critiquing the team myself, I thought that the die was cast when his honor came out and overruled the objections. So at that point, you have to, I always say, my favorite word in the criminal law is fluidity. You cannot, it's the Mike Tyson, who was a former client of mine, and Mike famously said, everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the nose. And when you get punched in the nose, you have to remain fluid. You've got to do something. And I'm not second guessing anybody, but this was not the finest hour.
Not hard to read between the lines. Was there a problem because there were too many lawyers in this case? Because I'm just thinking, when there's one, you use somebody who has great judgment, and there were plenty of people with good judgment, but this felt like a committee. And we talked about this at the beginning, and you kind of dismissed it and said, yeah, well, this happens a lot. But I'm thinking, you have one person saying, do it this way, do it this way. It's easier, it's clearer, and you take bolder moves than when it gets kind of watered down. And that's kind of what it felt like today for me.
Look, I love everybody on the team, but I was insistent, to the extent I was listened to, which I think was quite a bit, that Mark and Tenny run the show, and Alexandra handle the appellate. Mark and Tenny should have run the sentencing, in my opinion, and I'll just leave it at that.
So the appeal seems off. Are they even going to bother appealing this?
Oh, I think it's way too early to make that determination. I mean, you have to let it sit in. I will tell you, and by the way, 50 months, 50, leaves you open to a number of possibilities if you're Sean Combs. And he will be consulting with consultants. He'll be consulting with professionals who will give him the advice on that, who understand exactly the permutations. But for an appeal, I'm going to go back to the point I made and try to make it less esoteric. By giving him 50 months, by the judge sentencing him to 50 months, the appeal, I think, if I'm handicapping it, if somebody comes to me and says, Mark, what do you think about an appeal? It's not Sean Combs, it's somebody else. The judge found sentencing guidelines that were over 70, and the judge went under by 20. And then I'm asked, I went to trial, I lost on a couple of counts, and the judge went under what probation suggested the guidelines are. I would tell you that an appeal is incredibly, it's always a heavy lift. It just becomes a Herculean lift because of the way the judge did it. And by the way, I've said this a couple of times. This is not a judge who this job was a upgrade. He took a massive pay cut. He was an accomplished litigator. He has a pedigree that most law students would envy. And he's a very, very brilliant man. And if you don't think he thought this through and understands, no judge wants to get reversed. And this is about as insulated a sentence as you can get from an appeal. Having said that, on the Mann Act itself, he left some wiggle room open for the constitutionality of the Mann Act as applied. That's a separate grounds for appeal than the sentence itself. As far as the sentence itself, I just think that's a lift.
This game, you're not ready for it.
That's a bridge too far.
So a lot of defendants in his position would get a prison consultant. And
Robin.
I would think that you've gotten one for him already, that he's talked to them. And I would think he's talked to them. I want to go back to the safety issue that, Diddy, and the judge seemed to buy it. Diddy sexually brutalized these women.
See?
You may not say he did, and Diddy may not say he did, but the judge clearly believed it.
See?
So
I believe it too.
that puts an even bigger target on his back. To be sexually assaulted in prison, to be violently assaulted. So was this addressed by a prison consultant yet? Does he have one?
Probably got a clone in line for Diddy.
Look, I talk to prison consultants, I want to say at least once a day for high profile and no profile clients. I think prison consultants are one of the essentials. Don't leave home without them, so to speak. Don't go to prison without one. And I say this because they tell you, and normally, I mean, you take somebody like Craig Rothfeld, who's one of the top 2 or 3, if not the top. They understand it because they've lived it and they get it, and they know certain things that you just can't know having been on the outside. It would not surprise me if I, at a certain point, put another client of mine in touch with him just to give him some guidance as well, or another 2 clients, because there are things you have to do. You have to look forward. You can't look backwards. But Harvey, I hate to say it, but the reality is the only thing that's more at risk when you go to prison is a child murderer or child sexual predator.
That's right. And so I don't feel I'm raising this crazy hypothetical when I say
no, it's not clickbait at all. You're having a discussion that's a very hard discussion that criminal defense lawyers have to have weekly, if not more often.
So you talk to these prison consultants all the time. What would they say to a high profile person like this about avoiding sexual and other violent assaults?
There's all kinds of things that, I mean, the first and foremost is, where do you get designated? That I can't emphasize enough, that before you do anything in terms of preparing yourself, you have got to take your best shot at designation. Now, you have some control over that. And when I say you, I'm talking about kind of the royal we, meaning the court, your lawyers can inform, can bring stuff to the attention of those who make the designation. You can send them material. You can try to point out things. But ultimately, at the end of the day, that's a decision that is made internally. They have their own protocol. They've got their own checklist, so to speak, and they're going to designate you at a spot. Now,
about every 2-3 weeks, I'd have another tooth break off.
I did not feel confident. I couldn't even speak.
I would never.
you do have remedies if you get designated to some place you don't necessarily think you belong. I've had clients who have challenged that successfully, where they.
So he is going to the federal pen, right? He's going to the federal pen, not the state pen, to do his 2 years or whatever it is he got to do. 2 years and some change. He did what? He did wrong more than R. Kelly. Yeah, I think so too.
Been designated. They think it was because of a misnomer or a misclassification, and they've successfully done it. But sometimes be careful what you wish for. You get a little kind of what I call in LA parlance freeway therapy, where, okay, you want to go someplace that's not as onerous. We're going to send you someplace where you've got no relative anywhere near you because you challenged us. I don't want to say it's punitive, but it's punitive. And so that is the next kind of effort that's going to be made, is to determine and to handle where the designation is. And I'll bet you TMZ breaks that news as to where the designation is, probably within minutes of when they make the designation.
So let's say he is sent to a minimum security prison. Is he out of the woods when it comes to that kind of assault?
Nope.
If you're going, you and I talked about Ghislaine Maxwell, who went from the one place in Florida, which was a higher level, not a camp. And she was transferred after she did the interview with the couple-day interview. She was transferred to a.
But the thing is, I feel like, Caramel, I feel like if he hadn't have got that girl, introduced that girl to them drugs that she was on, I highly doubt that she would have set herself up in a situation to do what she was doing. That's my opinion. Cause it's just, and I get it. People try to do the craziest things for fame or whatever. But at the same time, it's just, man. And I can go on and on about this, but I really feel like Cassie was, what's the word, groomed to a certain degree by Diddy. And whatever he wanted her to do, she did to please him. I believe she did say that. She was in love with him that much, but I don't feel like he loved her as much as she loved him, because if he did, he wouldn't have had her doing the stuff she was doing. You know what I mean? He would have got some other women to do that. How do you know he introduced her to drugs? She, the one, had the connection. Okay, well, that's new to my ears. That she the one had the connection. Well, thanks for telling me, Caramel.
What they call a camp in Texas, which I'm familiar with. I've had other clients in. So a camp is generally one of the better places to be. And the reason for that is because a camp is basically, you get certain privileges. And if you step off of the line, so to speak, if you violate, if you do anything that is not according to Hoyle, they will immediately send you someplace a lot more onerous. So that's why I say, in a long-winded answer to your question, yes, you've got to get designated somebody. You know, I know he wants to be New York adjacent. If I'm Sean right now, I'm going to be angling for someplace like Lompoc satellite camp or something along those lines.
But that still doesn't answer. Is he out of the woods when it comes to being sexually or in any way assaulted by being in a minimum security prison?
When you say out of the woods, it's a prison. Anywhere you go is a prison.
Right.
You always have to watch your back.
That's right.
Literally. And if that's the case, you're never really out of the woods until you're released.
That's right.
Or you go to a halfway house, or you get into one of the programs. But if you are in a camp or in a low-level designation, your odds go down dramatically. I mean, you and I.
My roofing crews are doing work in your neighborhood this week, and since my man and equipment will already be there, I can.
There's no. I just saw a buddy of mine didn't wake up. He's substantially younger than you and me over last weekend. So there's no guarantees you're going to wake up in the morning. So there's never any guarantee. But if he gets designated at what they call a satellite camp or one of the low security institutions, it's a lot safer for him.
Well, I don't think, like I said before,
is used to call.
He did what he did. Now, why he think he got to have so much special protection? You know what I mean? Why? That's like putting him over any other black person in there. You know what I mean? Everybody need to be protected at the end of the day. You go to prison to do your time, not to get shanked and unalived and essayed. You know what I mean? But they do not help you like that. They do not help you like that. But they thinking that they can do this to Diddy. That's like telling everybody else you ain't shit. I feel like Cassie was willing to. You feel like she was willing? Yeah, to please him.
Calling the shots. And, I don't know how much you can talk about this because, I mean, he's your client. But I know that people who call the shots when suddenly others are calling them for you and you are suddenly a number rather than a king, that it's hard. Do you have any concerns that he's going to have a really rough time
I don't know.
following the straight and narrow while he's in prison?
That's right.
Well, I think he has, I've seen it personally. I think he has changed dramatically while in the jail, which is not a prison. I'll make that distinction. Pre-conviction,
I don't think she's a victim.
post-conviction. Pre-conviction jail, post-conviction prison. So he has changed dramatically. However, there's always that tendency. It's in the personality. I mean, you're 55 years old like Sean, you're 60 some odd like me, 70 some odd like you. It's very hard to change old habits. And the judge kind of said that in as much today in a different context, but it holds true everywhere. You're going to have to fight against that urge. You're going to have to fight against them. Sean said something that I thought in his statement was that it was humbling, and clearly it is humbling. And I will tell you, Harvey, and you've seen it with a lot of the people that you've followed over the years, there's various avenues that you can take. There's various decisions you make when you're in custody. And you know, I always tout the Menendez brothers as making good decisions. There are others that I've had who've made incredibly bad decisions. I'm always hopeful that somebody makes the good ones.
Yeah. So if you had to put this on a scale, 10 being he's in huge trouble in prison, and 1, he's going to be fine. Just in terms of the next 2 years for him,
10.
in terms
He in
of
big trouble.
the dangers of being there, the difficulty of being there, what number do you put it at?
This is how I lowered my car insurance rate by $110. I had no clue.
1 in the chat if he in big trouble, 2 in the chat if he's not. I need y'all to put a 1 in the chat if you think Diddy is in big trouble when he go to prison as far as his safety, or a 2 in the chat if you think he's going to be fine. Let me see those numbers. Let me see those numbers. I think he in big trouble. Okay, Caramel? Let me put my 1 in the chat. Shoot, because I really think if they already tried to shank him in the regular county, then shh. Woo, woo. Yeah. Let's see.
A 4.
Really?
A 4.
Really?
Yeah. I think, and you might have me reassess once he gets designated, but right now I don't have. I mean, I was fearful when the judge took the probation guidelines recommendations. I mean, I've been on a roller coaster all day on this. I was on a roller coaster yesterday on this, and it's been very hard to handicap this. And that's, and I know, and when I say handicap, it's because I'm so incredibly close to it. And you constantly, when you have one of these cases and you're affiliated in some way, shape, or form, you're trying to always give the best advice you can. And in this case, I can second guess, and I always second guess, not just this case, any case. But I'm hopeful that he gets designated to a place where he can continue to do the work on himself, which he needs to do. He's the first guy to admit he needs to do the work on himself. Even post-conviction, he hasn't made all the best decisions, and he would be the first to admit that. He's made some really good decisions, but he's going to have to continue to work on that daily. It's not you don't just flip a switch and change. It's hard work, and he's doing the hard work, and I hope he continues.
Okay, and finally, and I don't want to put you in a difficult position. If you don't want to answer it, it's fine. But the defense did an amazing job during the trial. I mean, they just did. And they won. I don't think they did a good job in the sentencing hearing. And, you know, I thought the video they played was too slick. They put music on it. It didn't feel authentic to me. The idea of allowing him to book a speech on Monday was ridiculous. They avoided playing the Trump card even obtusely. There were just a number of things. And I'm wondering what was the difference, because it was basically the same crew. Why did it feel so different to me?
They definitely
with
making
the
a
trial and then the sentencing.
Yep.
There's no way I can answer that question except to say, Harvey, you're a very astute observer of the human condition.
He tried to manipulate.
I'll leave it at that.
I don't want to put you on the spot, but I saw something radically different today.
I'll leave it at that. I'm good to see you. I'm coming back.
Have a safe flight.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
See ya.
We were planning our anniversary trip. Someone tried to open a loan in my name in a state I've never even been to before.
Retirement is just...
Yeah, I had to put my
In a neighboring town.
Where did that come from? Yeah, I think he's in trouble when he do go to the federal penitentiary. He just gotta watch his back, watch his back, keep his guards up, try to deal with it. Men like Diddy will manipulate the court. That's what he tried to do. I believe it. Caramel, so I feel like Diddy made moves on his own without the industry, and they making him pay. Don't get me wrong, he's not a good person, but they making an example. Yep, definitely making an example. Now that judge was biased and already made up his mind, and it showed. That judge was basically overruling himself. I didn't watch the his sentencing. I didn't watch that. But I was involved when it first went down for a little while. So yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Man just got to go ahead and get it on over with, and keep praying. He better keep praying and reading his Bible. This next story, we did speak on it a little bit last night. I don't think I showed it though. Hold on. Let's see. I know it tripped me out. It definitely tripped me out. This one right here. Hold on. Yeah. Okay, let me read it first. It says, federal officers conducted a raid on an apartment located on the south side of Chicago in the middle of the night in a predominantly Black neighborhood earlier this week. DHS officials stated the purpose of the raid was to detain members of Trendiagua, an alleged Venezuelan gang who referred to as a terrorist organization by President Donald Trump. During the operation, agents reportedly detained several American citizens, including children, for hours, resulting in a total of 37 arrests. Wow. This raid is part of the White House Immigration Enforcement Initiative in the Chicago area, known as Operation Midway Blitz. Wow. Federal officials have reported more than 900 arrests since September the 8th. Wow. A neighboring resident reported that the majority of those he saw handcuffed outside were Black residents, and quite a few were detained for 2 to 3 hours. As a result of this experience, many citizens took to the streets to protest against the measures used during the raid. The militarization of law enforcement in minority neighborhoods follows President Trump's remarks to senior U.S. military officers at Marine Corps Base, Quantico in Virginia. He stated that the National Guard would be going into Chicago very soon and expressed his desire to use American cities as training grounds for the military. That's messed up. Trump claimed that Democratic led cities are very unsafe, and that he plans to address these issues one by one. That is messed up. Messed up. Hold on. Oh.
ICE agents overnight, and she says they took everyone and then asked questions later.
They just treated us like we were nothing.
Patricia Fisher says she came out to the hallway of her apartment complex on the corner of 75th and South Shore Drive in her nightgown around 10 Monday night, only to find ICE agents yelling police.
It was scary because I've never had a gun put in my face. They asked my name and my date of birth and asked me, did I have any warrants? And I told them no, I didn't.
She said she was then handcuffed and released around 3 a.m. Fisher said she was told if anyone had any kind of warrant out. I spoke to one woman who actually lives in this building, and she said she was detained by ICE agents. Even if it was unrelated to immigration, they would not be released. Citizen App video shows the chaotic scene overnight. Neighbors tell us there were dozens of ICE agents. Neighbors like Ebony Watson says they ducked for cover as they heard several flashbangs go off.
They was terrified. The kids was crying. People was screaming. They looked very distraught. I was out there crying when I seen the little girl come around the corner. Because they was bringing the kids out too.
Wow.
Had them zip tied to each other. That's all I kept asking. Where's the morality? Where's the human? One of them literally laughed. He was standing right here. He said, them kids.
Watson says, but even if it was unrelated to immigration, they would not be released. Citizen App video shows the chaotic scene overnight. Neighbors tell us there were dozens of ICE agents. Neighbors like Ebony Watson.
DHS Secretary Kristi Noem also showed up to the facility today, seen on the roof with Border Patrol Chief Gregory Bavino. There was also much more of a federal presence from DHS, Border Patrol, and ATF, as well as several military vehicles in the area. All of this unfolding as protesters were pushed back further by local and federal law enforcement, with new security measures just put in place near the back entrance at 25th and Harvard.
It's intense. They got guys up there pointing guns. They got guys coming out with batons. They got these guys over here.
There have been
Hold on. Boss lady, come up here for a second. I'm glad you came. Hold on. Oh, shoot. Ain't what I meant to do. Hold on. I hadn't dropped the link down since I've been on here. That's your old kicking spot? Oh, my God. That's on the east side by Lake Michigan. Dang. That is messed up. And I know that I was talking about it last night, but I found the story today. I'm like, oh my God. Kids and all? That's sad. That is really sad. Okay. Okay.
a handful of opposition protesters showing up at the facility today, saying these ICE operations are needed in Chicago. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem also showed up to the facility today, seen on the roof with
Now they said it's supposed to be gang members or whatever, but then it went from gang members to black women and children as well. And we did say that this would be happening. I remember us talking about this before. After they finished with the Mexicans or all the other nationalities, they will be coming for the black. And it looks like that's what's happening. Looks like that's what's happening. Oh, boy. Hey, boss lady. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you said that's your own stomping ground?
Yeah.
Well, thank God you wasn't there, but I could hear your ass now going off.
No, you shit, y'all gonna be hearing some pew 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 and that motherfucker. Cause I was looking at the building, I'm like, that building look familiar as hell. I'm like, oh, that's the old stomping ground right there.
Oh man. So have you seen any of this type of activity going on?
I ain't seen nothing in Chicago. I ain't seen nothing. They must be in the Mexican neighborhood or up north.
Man.
That's why I'm saying where they get all these stories from. Cause I'll be right there on the spot recording.
That's what I know. Shoot.
Cause I don't see nobody.
You and Cam, like shoot.
Mm-hmm.
Man. So let me see here.
Man, I don't see nobody out on the streets. I don't see nothing. So mostly they downtown, probably up north and over east or in the Mexican hood. Shit.
Okay.
I got Mexican in my hood, but it ain't that many.
Yeah, Shayna do too.
Mm-hmm.
But she don't live in Chicago. She live,
No, she got all the Mexicans over there by her.
That's what she told
me. Took over. They took over. Oh, for real, they took over. Well, she had.
Yeah, that's what she told me too.
I mean, it used to be like white folks out there where she was at, and then the black folks started moving out there. Then it was like white and black folks. Then now the Mexicans took over. It's like the white folks sold their home to them.
Damn.
I'm for real. They took it. They took over Chicago. They on the east side, south side, north side, west side.
Well, shoot, Ice probably had a field time in Chicago.
I don't know, but I ain't see them where I'm at. I ain't see them nowhere on the south side.
Wow.
They know where the people housing at. They pay them and shit, so they get food stamps. They know where everybody stay at. So why they ain't hitting no spots up? They know where all the jobs at.
Right.
They took over all the jobs out here.
Ooh, my job, it's a bunch of them. And I'm like,
because I know some people who can't get no jobs because of their ass took over. I said, y'all can't get no jobs. I said, I'm finna call ICE to come up there. I'm for real. They can't speak no English, but you got a job up there.
Yeah, they can't. And I'm like, what? How the hell we supposed to work together if we can't understand one another?
Now, some of them, they understand, they know how to speak English, but they told them don't speak English. Play dumb.
Yeah. Well, what the hell that's going to get them? Playing dumb.
I don't know.
But we don't understand.
If they tell you me don't speak English, be like you just did speak English.
Just did. That's right. And they show
I'm for real.
They sure be saying it on my job. Like, well, shit, you just said that.
Yeah. Like you do speak English, try to play dumb. I'm for real. They be the main ones don't like us and shit. Now you got some of them who love black folks, but the rest of them they be racist just like the white man, and I just laugh at them.
I see on my job, man, that there was a bunch of them hitting on the black men, and I'm just standing there looking like,
Yeah, because they want their green card.
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
You don't like black folks, but you try to reproduce with them. That's why I be seeing certain things, and people be like, "What he talking about?" You don't post. I'm talking about you tied to this land. This is your land. You got inheritance coming. These people owe you a lot, and these other races up here reproducing with you and try to come in with your inheritance, and then that inheritance gonna come back and stay in their family. Black folks don't never keep no money in their family, and I be telling people that. When you love is love, and now people go come and get with you just to get your money. They don't love you. They don't want no blackness in their family.
That's
What
right.
the hell you talking about?
Ooh.
But people be looking at me wrong when I be saying certain things. I be like, well, you got your own opinion. If you think that, I see different.
I agree. Because it's a lot of BS going on.
And how these people come over here getting all these cars and free homes and shit, all these food stamps and shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's fucked up. You
Oh,
born and raised here, you can't even get no doggone
now,
loans and grants and stuff.
yeah, they gon' say Paquito. They gonna say Paquito. Oh, that's what they say. Hey, boss lady, have you noticed something? I've been scrolling on Instagram, and I've been noticing a lot of TikTokers, young TikTokers passing away. You notice that?
I seen like it sound like some of them doing sacrifices, like where they don't give something up, and then I think some of them like they getting rid of their kids, like sacrificing their kids too. I noticed that too.
Damn.
But mostly I seen like Caucasian ones.
I see black.
Caucasian, Asian. I ain't seen that many blacks.
I seen it. I seen a couple black. Well, one for sure. Two blacks, females, and then one. I think she looked like she was Mexican or something. I seen that today. You get $25 in food stamps. Wow.
Tell them to shove that up their ass.
Okay.
Soon you go to the store, that ain't nothing but junk money right there.
Okay. Damn.
Tell them shove it right back up their butt.
That's just, and then what they said they want you to work for whatever you get now. You gotta work 40 hours or whatever, which I've always worked or whatever, but shit.
And certain places you gotta do community services and stuff.
Oh, I ain't know that about the community service.
Certain states or whatever. You gotta go community services, help out and all the other stuff.
Okay.
Go to school, work and all that.
Uh-huh.
Certain places. Everybody got different rules, so.
Woo. They said they drug this World Star. Say ICE agents drag naked children out of homes in Chicago raid. Oh.
I don't know.
Girl.
I don't watch the news because they be try to hype. You know they got a pet agenda going on. They try to hype the black folks up and stuff. And, you can't fall for everything.
Right, that's true. That's true.
So they know where these people stay at. So why they ain't out there where them people stay at?
That's right.
Yeah, mostly black folks is over there. Lakeshore Drive. That's over the east side. That's mostly where black folks at. Now the white folks migrating over there as well. They fixing all that up. So they gonna try to move all the black folks out from over there by the beach. You got Rainbow Beach over there. So they gonna start fixing that up and moving all the black folks out and raise the rent up.
That's what they was doing that for years. Like downtown areas, they try to get blacks out of downtown areas so they get fix it up and then have the other race.
Right, because they slowly working their way down like south of Chicago.
Okay,
that's what they doing.
Ooh.
Because black folks, we used to have the south of the downtown area. We used to have all that area all the way down to Indiana. We used to have all that. Now they migrating all down there. And plus they took over that side too, east side. I was driving through there. I said, "What the?" You know how I am. I'm driving. I'm like, "What the fuck?" They took over that east side where all the black folks at. I said, "What the fuck?" I said, "This don't make no goddamn for real." I'm for real. Man. That's why when I be driving, I'm like, "What the fuck?" I said, "Damn, they just took over every goddamn thing for real." And then I went to my cousin area. And it was warm outside, and they started walking everywhere. I said, "What the fuck?"
What is that?
They in Inglewood. They in Inglewood too. When I be driving around, I be driving around in different areas.
I heard about that. She said, Caramel said the orange clown thinking about giving y'all $2K. I didn't know if it was true or not, but I did see that something.
They said it was $1,000 some. Now it's $2K. I believe it when it's in my bank account.
So, but he did say it out his mouth? Because I ain't heard it. I seen it on Instagram somewhere.
No. You know how they be having no AI. I believe it when it's in my account.
Right. Ooh, wait, what's the purpose of it? It's something for. I heard it was something dealing with for all the money he got for something.
He said he found all that money from them stealing from us in different organizations, different things, and we
Uh-huh.
supposed to get more money than that. But if you found all this damn money, why the fuck we gonna give him two?
That's right.
Shit, cheap ass motherfucker.
Hey,
Should have been paying everybody 2 G's a month or every 2 weeks or something.
facts. Or give somebody give us $10,000 a piece.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
They ain't gonna do that.
They definitely won't do that one.
But they gave the Mexicans all that money, but they ain't gonna do that to us. They ain't gonna get that shit to nobody. You gonna have to work hard to do something for that. If they give it to you, they gonna get it back in what the gas prices or your property taxes or something.
Oh yeah.
They raise their property taxes up out here.
Well,
Yeah.
during the pandemic when they was giving us that money, hey Margaret, they wanted us to put that back into the economy.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that money was for.
That's what they was saying.
He said
I
that.
wouldn't be going out there shopping.
Hold on, Margaret. Excuse me. Mine went on bills. I did some shopping, but a majority of my shit went on bills.
Yep, I pay my bills.
Okay.
I wouldn't go out there shopping for no TVs and jewelry and all that stuff unless you really need some clothes and shoes and coats. That's what you should be doing, and buying some candles and water and stuff. And they'll be jerking it off on junk.
Right. That's right. Margaret
Take
said
that money and do something with it.
this is injustice for all. Hold on. Hey, Margaret.
Hey, I was backstage for a minute.
Oh shit! You know I'm blind.
But yeah, I mean, this is exactly what they planned. They wanted us to turn against each other. Again, they wanted the blacks and the Latinos or the brown and the black to turn against each other. So what we can see them doing in public eyesight don't mean anything.
Uh-huh.
But forefathers from back then started coming. It's like I was saying in the chat, an injustice for one is an injustice for all.
Right.
Somebody has to be the blueprint. And yeah, I think this shit is just about the Mexicans. It ain't just about them.
Nope.
They coming after us too.
Yeah.
Don't you? I mean, it's not hard to understand the simplicity of white supremacy.
So tell me.
I mean, it's getting done right in front of our eyes. Like, you think them people that's in Chicago they just accidentally kicked into a predominantly urban apartment building and bring out all the blacks, all the Latinos?
Huh.
No.
Whoa.
This shit is planned.
Gotta be.
Yeah, it's all throughout Project 2025.
Damn.
And it's like, it's been out here enough. Folks then talked about it, then said it, then told people, and they just don't fucking want to listen. Even what's her name, Kamala Harris. She stated it. She was the reason why I went to go read the motherfucker. It's all been put out here. People have been told, and everybody acting obtuse to it now. Like, oh my God, I can't believe this happening, and this shit should be happening. No. And by the way, I think that if you believe that the Mexicans are taking over, then you also got to know that they didn't do it forcibly. They didn't put no guns up to our heads and said, we gonna go take y'all jobs. No. Motherfuckers just got too relaxed and too comfortable and not wanted to work.
Yep.
And one thing about the Mexican, Hispanics, or whoever, they want to work.
They
And
damn
they
sure.
don't do it for a
And the
lower
black folks
price than what
the
you
black
can.
folks here want to work too. And they
Shit,
got
not no more.
I'm here
Some
on boots
motherfuckers
on the
just got
ground in
too
Chicago,
relaxed and too
and they picked them
comfortable.
over the black folks here. And it's
Yeah,
a whole bunch
because
of their ass in each goddamn job in the
black
city
people
and the
is living
suburbs.
out the stereotypical characteristics that the white man then set on them. They too goddamn lazy.
They ain't
Always
lazy.
complaining.
They not lazy.
Shit, yes they is. A majority of them are.
They not lazy. They want to work, and they can't get no goddamn jobs here
If they
because
want to work,
they ass took over.
if they want to work, they can work. They can
And they
work.
trying
They
to
can
work,
go find
and
you
they
go
ass ain't
find
getting
work
picked. They
anywhere.
picked them damn pale people over their ass.
I would too. But them motherfuckers is lazy. They can get out there and work just as hard as the Mexicans.
They
And
all
don't
they ass
do it.
lazy too. All their ass just don't work. They know they gotta eat.
Yeah. There's some younger ones.
Discriminating you. They won't even give your ass a motherfucking house and grants and loans and
And
shit
you're
to get
right
you a
about
house.
that,
But they
Michelle.
discriminating on that.
It is the younger generations. Because the old school black male know that shit. You got to get out there and hustle and work just like the next motherfucker. These ones up under us, and even some that's around our generation has the same slave ass mentality where, oh, I'm gonna get handed. It's gonna get handed to me. Looking for a handout. Count sleeping asses. Get your asses up. Go apply yourself.
Yeah. Hold on here. Wait a second.
You got a lot of black people in Chicago want to work and they can't get to their damn jobs because they ass took over. They prefer their ass over them.
Caramel said they don't want to lose their benefits.
And then you get extra motherfucking money when you hire their ass too.
What?
And
if
they
you
do.
didn't know.
You hear me, Caramel? They do. Something that we just can't seem to do.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Mr. Cool. Mr. Cool. Comfort made simple.
Roku Ads Manager puts Roku's reach within your reach.
Hold on, y'all.
Reach your target audience on Roku, America's #1 TV streaming platform.
Okay.
Run
Wait,
your ad
let me see something. Oh, okay.
Easily optimize your campaigns to hit your goals.
What
Get
the
started
heck?
for as low as $500.
What is this? Did y'all know about this? This Chicago?
That's new.
Hold on. Largest black-owned grocery store in the country calling for 1,000 people to shop. To show up tomorrow for Let's Go Shopping Together Day.
They about to shut them down because they ain't got that damn much money to keep it open. That's from a church. The church own it.
Okay.
But that's like close to the west side anyway. So I don't know why the fuck they all the way out there for.
Damn.
This suburban grocery store is
You hear
asking
me,
for the
Robin?
public's help to stay in the community. They say between the tariffs and the economic downturn, they're not sure how much longer they can keep their doors open.
It's wonderful. It's clean.
First-time shopper Joyce Williams rushed right over to the Living Fresh Market the minute she learned the local grocery store is in trouble and might close. The grocery store has been serving Forest Park and its surrounding communities for nearly 5 years, but now the owners say it may have to call it quits.
It's clean and the customer service is very friendly.
Because of the grocery store's financial situation, the owners are making a public plea and reaching out to Early Walker for help.
This is Living Fresh Market, the largest black-owned grocery store in the entire country.
The businessman and philanthropist called to action on social media, asked the community to step up this Saturday
All right, I'm
to
gonna have
raise
Michelle send it to you.
$100,000.
I am pledging the first $500. I'm going to go grocery shopping myself personally tomorrow. In addition to that, I have asked for 1,000 people people to join me and spend $100 a piece.
Living Fresh Market is one of the largest Black-owned grocery stores in the country. It's owned by Pastor Bill Winston of the Living Word Church and his family. They own the mall where the store is too.
Jewels and all these is fine, but it's nice that I can come over here and it's a lot of different cultures and stuff working.
Owners admit that business has remained slow since the pandemic. It got worse because of tariffs and people losing jobs and food assistance benefits. They estimate about a third of their customers use SNAP benefits to buy groceries.
What does that do to our communities? What does that do to already food deserts?
Winston says the grocery store needs to see around 3,000 customers a day to stay viable.
We encourage everybody to come out to support so we won't have to even think about the unthinkable.
The grocery store's owners say a closure would impact more than just the store. They say Living Fresh Market is heavily involved in the community, offering mentoring programs and providing assistance to local food pantries and shelters. So they say closing is not an option.
Beyond Saturday's action, organizers of the effort to keep this store open say it can't stop there. They're asking people to come and shop at the store at least 1 to 2 times a month, all in an effort to keep it in the community. Reporting from West Suburban Forest Park, I'm Evelyn Holmes, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Right, Evelyn.
Well, I really hope, wish them luck in staying open. Yeah. It's hard out here, man.
He should have put that motherfucker in a 503 shit. 508, whatever you call that damn thing.
You're saying they put it in the wrong area?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Let's see, what's this one? It says, disgusting. Chick-fil-A worker fired after discriminating against a Spanish-speaking customer. Asked her, why would she be ordering at the location if she doesn't speak English? Girl, let me read this. Neighbors, isn't Chick-fil-A supposed to be the place that serves you with a smile and the my pleasure tagline? Well, a woman,
Not just Chick-fil-A, but every restaurant or customer service job.
Right. Well, a woman was met with the incorrect order and a lot of disrespect instead. A TikToker named Luisa, who is currently learning English, filmed the now viral video at the Durham, North Carolina location. In the original clip she uploaded, you can hear the male worker say, "What? P something? What the hell? I don't know, get the F out of here," while making faces and pointing. In the second clip, Lucia gives more backstory and shows more of the disgusting behavior she was subjected to. He obviously mocked her and continued to make her feel like her business wasn't wanted, but Chick-fil-A made it right. This is how an employee at Chick-fil-A has treated me just because I went to fix my order with racism. He told me what a Hispanic shouldn't be even that a Hispanic shouldn't even come to buy there unless they spoke perfect English. The truth is he didn't want to work or be there, but chose to show nothing but hate and disrespect. Damn, we live in a world of violence, and in moments like this, the best thing to do is stay calm and turn to the right authorities, Lucia wrote. The manager of this restaurant was very apologetic and told me this person was removed. My friends, let's keep the peace and protect ourselves from people like this. Unfortunately, here in the U.S., there are too many of them.
Necesito vote.
Okay, what is the problem?
English is the problem.
Oh, really? So right here, the only people English.
Yeah.
All right. The
English
Spanish
is the problem. No, motherfucker, you the problem.
I said
because you say dumb.
If you don't know how to speak English, why would you?
I'm telling you, I want one combo number 1 and I'm 2 geography 5. But I'm here and do you want work? You see your face? Just see your face? Eh?
Okay.
Oh. Ándale, necesito, go. You mad?
They say you mad? Oh Lord. That is crazy. That is crazy.
That's ignorant.
Woo boy. Boy. Woo. Next story. Florida man is accused of unaliving and cooking and eating peacocks. Wait a minute. According to reports, a 61-year-old Florida man, Craig Voigt, was arrested on animal cruelty charges after admitting he unalived and ate his pet peacocks during a dispute with a neighbor over feeding them, according to court records. Damn. I wonder how peacock tastes. Like some chicken. These
That's some
people,
pretty animals. They should be deleted.
they are beautiful, and they gonna delete his ass too. You know, you can't even when them ducks crossing the street, you gotta stop and wait for them. I don't care how long it takes for them to walk across the street. Because if you hit one, you're going down.
Mm-hmm.
So I can just imagine what they do with the peacocks, with they pretty self. Let's see here. Margaret, you still there?
Uh-huh.
Oh, this dude right here, a man dismembered his sister, cooked parts of her body, and fed them to neighbors in the Dominican Republic.
Yeah, that's why I be saying, you gotta watch what you be eating.
Watch what you be eating, for real. Woo. Oh, wait, that's music. After learning of the arrest of a man identified as Juan Jose, accused of unaliving and dismembering his own sister with the macabre action of cooking body parts and serving them to some neighbors without them knowing the origin of the meat. The incident occurred last weekend and has caused a great commotion in the area. I bet. Preliminary versions indicate that the woman with the intention of helping her brother moved from San Antonio Domingo to Mayo to protect him from legal problems. Since he was fleeing from justice, however, the decision ended in tragedy. Damn, she moved to help him, and that's the thing she got? Getting cooked and fed to people?
People are sick.
According to reports, Juan Jose dismembered his sister, washing and manipulating the parts of her body, including organs, viscera, and intestines. Damn! The brutality of the act and the deception of the neighbors by making them consume the meat have been described as an event to extreme cruelty. Local residents expressed their deep confusion, highlighting how difficult it is to assimilate such a serious event. We never thought that anyone here was capable of something like this, expressed some community members in statements reported by the press. The authorities reported that the parts of the victim's body were located in a bucket inside the house, which made it possible to confirm the crime and proceed with the immediate arrest of the accused. Juan Jose remains in the custody of National Police while the corresponding judicial proceedings are being prepared. I can only imagine what those people that ate that, what they was running through their mind, and how many ran to the hospital. Oh God, people are sick. That's why I don't eat everybody's cooking. Okay, Janine. Hey, Dorian. Oh man, I thought peacocks was off limit. Ooh, wait, God, it's getting worse. The more and more you look on the news, the more and more you look on this social media, it's terrible, y'all. It's really terrible. Ain't nothing good at all. Damn near every story is crazy. This is why I have tiny dogs. What is it? Oh shit. Oh. Ooh, I wish she would do me like that. Oh my God. Oh, the dog. Yeah, them dogs. Yeah. Yeah, them dogs too damn strong.
You okay?
Yeah. Back. Go back. No,
You're gonna be all right, yeah?
Yeah. Wait a minute. Oh. I swear I'd be beating dogs' ass left and right if they did me like that. Oh no. Did y'all know about this?
They turned a black girl's voice into a billion-dollar cartoon and gave the money to the woman who stole it. Meet Esther Jones, a Harlem jazz singer in the 1920s who performed with electric energy, big eyes, and a signature baby-style voice. She didn't just entertain, she defined a sound. And white America? It copied every note. Enter Helen Kane, a white singer who saw Esther perform, then ran to the studio and mimicked her act down to the boop-boop-a-doop. A few years later, Betty Boop was born, drawn as white, voiced in Kane's stolen baby voice, and marketed as an American original. But when Helen Kane sued the cartoon studio for stealing her voice, the truth came out in court. Black artists testified that Kane stole everything from Esther Jones. The judge threw the case out, but the damage was done. Betty Boop became a pop icon. Helen Kane became a footnote, and Esther, forgotten. No credits, no royalties, just erasure. They say imitation is flattery, but this was robbery. Drop a mic if you hear the truth in her voice. Follow for more history they tried to steal. And
they done been doing that for years and years and years.
Yeah, I heard that story when I was in grade school.
Wow. I had heard it too that she was black. Betty Boop, the original Betty Boop was black. And they, like I said, they've been stealing from us for years. And it ain't gonna stop. They're gonna continue to do it because you know why? We are geniuses. And they can't think like we think. They can't do what we do. They have to steal what we do. And that's really sad. Really, really sad. Let me see here. Wait a minute, what is this? No, I don't want to do no. What is this right here?
Breaking.
Missing California woman Renaya Lewis found dismembered in secret attic as family's ebony alert pleads in tragedy. Six Flags worker confessed to unaliving her. Damn, another one dismembered? Well, we don't know for sure if Celeste was dismembered, but this is, whew.
Overnight, a woman who was reported missing in Vallejo was found dead in an attic. A 41-year-old is in custody and charged with her murder. On Monday, police issued an ebony alert for 28-year-old Renia Lewis. Police say an investigation led them to an address on 14th Street where they conducted a welfare check and eventually a search warrant. On their second search, police discovered a concealed entrance to the attic where they found Lewis's remains. Authorities are still investigating. The suspect is due in court tomorrow. Breaking overnight.
What did she do to you for you to kill her and then put her in a wall? When he said, "We found your daughter," I just collapsed. I was like, I can't believe this. And I was praying. I said, God, please don't let it be her. Please don't let it be her. And he did not answer my prayer.
It was the news no one in 28-year-old Renia Lewis's family wanted to hear. Police found her body behind a wall inside this home on 14th Street in Vallejo. Her mother last texted her on Friday and thought it was unusual not to get a response.
When they found her body behind the wall. They nailed her body behind the wall.
Vallejo police announced late Tuesday that they had arrested Douglas Shaw. It's still unclear what his relationship is to Rania or to the home.
The person that they have in custody is being cooperative, stated that he did indeed.
What did she do to you for you to kill her? And then
He did indeed kill Rania. He threw her phone on top of the school. That's the most information that I have.
Police now have Rania's phone, which her family says last pinged at this address. Her mother used the Life 360 app to track her final location, and her cousin Latoya helped lead the family's search in the area.
Rania was the best loving person. The girl loved to cook. She loved her family.
Since they began sharing flyers with her mother's number, the family has received numerous prank calls, people pretending to be Rania, luring her mother to fall.
That is so stupid.
It really is.
God, what is wrong with people? Damn. With a serious matter like this? Come on, man.
False addresses and demanding money.
I am devastated. That's my youngest daughter. Her birthday is on Monday. She would have been 29.
He did indeed kill Rania. He threw her phone on top of the school. That's the.
She said there was another one, but there was another one where the husband unalive and dismembered his wife body and left with the kids back to his home country. Damn. Whoo, man. Good Lord, this is insane. All the shit be going on like this. Man. Oh, okay. Let me see here. Okay, we did that. Oh, I got that twice. Oh yeah, today is was it today? Rich Homie Quan's birthday. So happy heavenly birthday to him. He would have been 36 years old. My boy. Margaret, did you like Rich Homie Quan? Margaret, you there? Margaret.
Hello? Yeah. I'm here. I'm here. I'm just getting dressed. We getting ready to go to dinner.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm finna get out of here too, because I gotta get some dinner myself. So yeah, y'all. I will see y'all in the next one. I don't know if I'll do another one tonight or not. We'll see. We'll see. But y'all, thank y'all for joining me. And if y'all have anything that y'all want me to react to, send it to my IG, Michelle Brady 408 or Michelle. What's the other one? Michelle Brady 2274. I think it is. Hold on, let me check for sure. So yeah, that's what you could do. Send it to if you got any stories, interesting stories that you want me to react to or want us to react to, then send it to my IG. And yep, I love y'all. Thank you for joining me. And like I always say, have a blessed one to the next one and stay safe. All right, Margaret.
All right, travel light, everybody.
Okay.